Welcome back, YouTubers. It's a beautiful day in China. I hope it's nice where you are. Tariffs. We're going to talk about tariffs today. Wine tariffs, specifically wine tariffs. There may be a few others as well. Now, I got a little bit disturbed when I recently have seen in the media, rolling around in Facebook, these people sprouting lists of Chinese-owned wineries in Australia, saying, hey, let's boycott these wineries. Don't buy any wine from these guys because they're not Australian, they're Chinese-owned wineries. Come on. This is so un-Australian. I just cannot understand this. Now, I hope what you guys realize, these wineries are actually owned by Australians. Just because once upon a time they came from China, they're not owned by China. A few of them have got some investment from China as joint ventures, but almost all of the 41, if you go and do your research, they're all owned by Australian registered businesses, Australian people, Australian residents who are invested in Australia, created jobs for Australians. As far as I'm concerned, they're just as Australian as you and I. All of us in Australia are migrants anyway. So you're just beating up on your own fellow Australians. And that to me is just not, it's not what I was brought up to be or to do as an Australian. I'm sorry, but I don't accept it. Why do you think they went to Australia to invest in wine? Think about it. Why do you think they went to start a business in Australia, go and buy a winery off some people in Australia that are having some trouble? Go and buy a winery, go and buy some land, go and live in a beautiful country like Australia, and let's sell wine back to China. Because they know the market in China is massive. The market in China is thousands and thousands of times the size of the market in Australia. So they want a piece of this market and they want to have a good business just like any other Australian. Now, I didn't start this YouTube channel to sprout wonderful stories about China and bash on Australia. I'm a proud Australian. I love Australia. But come on. Let's be serious. Just for 1 minute, let's be serious. Why are we in this situation with tariffs from China? Let me know in the comments down below. Give me your thoughts. Think about what changed about 4-5 years ago, when the Australian government started to change their tone with China. What do you think started that? Not that long ago, Australia signed a really good free trade agreement with China. It expanded the sales into China by massive amounts for everything from wine to beef, all kinds of products. I'm here in China and I can see the prices that have dropped in the last 3 years, 4 years, and the volume that's coming into China. All it's done is inflame the appetite for Chinese to want more. China is the biggest growing market in the world and is going to be for many, many years to come. What's changed? What's changed in the last 4 years? Anyone made any comments yet? What's changed? Have a look. Let me know. You don't have to be a mad rocket scientist to know. My God. Five years ago, the Trump train started, didn't it? 5 years ago is when all the bullshit rhetoric and scary stories about China started in mass from the US. What does the Australian government do? They jump on the Trump train. I just cannot handle it anymore. There's so many I know so many Chinese that live in Australia through this last couple of years has seen a massive increase in pressure and racism against them. It really is racism pushed from the US. I grew up in Australia, the most multicultural, diverse, beautiful country in the world. And there's so many in Australia that are allowing the bullshit stories from America, the American media that's all owning half of the Australian media, just pushing the stories from America. It's all politically driven, all politically charged, because America doesn't want to lose the post, their fear of losing their control as the most powerful country in the world. My God, China is so far from toppling them as the most powerful country in the world. China's still a developing country. You only have to live here, come here, spend enough time here and you can see it. Sure, there's some growing areas. Sure, there's some massive investment in technology and some amazing stuff going on here. But the wages here are nothing like you get in Australia. The cost of everything here is still low, except some things are ridiculous. Fuel costs here are crazy. The cost of fuel here is the same, exactly the same cost as we pay in Australia. But their wages, the average wage here is a fraction of what Australians have. Now, I'm not going to go on and on and on about this too much. I just want to make a point. Please, my fellow Australians, support each other, including the new ones to Australia. The people you should be putting pressure on, writing stories about, is the Australian government. Just go and knock on their door and make sure they understand the Trump train, like it was always going to, has derailed and crashed spectacularly. There's no benefit for Australia pushing the Trump agenda or the US agenda. Should be no fear of Australia being taken over by China. China has never, in their whole history of like 5,000 years, go check it. If you don't believe me, go do your research. China has never, ever tried to go out of their country, tried to invade anybody else, tried to push their agenda and their ideals and their feelings or anything on any other country ever. It's not in the Chinese culture to do this. All China wants to do, like any other country, is make a good life for its people and create more opportunity for its people. China's not investing billions and billions of dollars in weapons. It's not setting up military bases all over the world to intimidate the world. It's just trying to do good business and create more opportunity for you, as an Australian, to sell your products to China. They want to buy our Australian products. It's pretty simple. You get off the politics train, put aside your prejudices, and just enjoy the market opportunity. The market is significantly, insanely massive here. You only have to look at what some New Zealand companies have been able to do in capturing the interest of milk, powdered milk for babies, capturing the interest of Chinese. These companies can't make enough. They can't make enough milk to satisfy the appetite in China. The same is going to happen for red wine, beef, and everything else that we can sell from Australia. There is 1.5 billion people here. All they want to do is enjoy life like you. So please, stop beating up on your fellow Australians. Please, put pressure on the Australian government. Get them to come to their senses. All right, I've had my rant. I feel better. I'll let you go. Give me your comments below. What do you think? Catch you in the next one.